All right, Math 1, Unit 7, Section 8, Word Problems. So with these word problems, we're going to be starting off by using the information in them to write two linear equations. And once we do that, we're just going to solve them using the methods that we've already learned. So the new part is extracting the information to write the equations. All right, number 1, the sum of two numbers is 12. Two numbers added together is 12, so x plus y is 12. Their difference is 4, so x minus y is 4. And then we're supposed to find the numbers. So here are my two equations. Let me rewrite them here. X minus y is 4. And I just need to solve those, or solve it, I guess. I'm going to add them together using elimination because I have a positive and negative y. So I'm going to have, well, 2x is 16, so x is 8. I'm going to take this and plug into the equation over here, and I'll have, well, 8 minus y is 4. So negative y is negative 4, and y is positive 4. Now these won't be listed as a point on your answers. It will just say 4 and 8, or it might say 8 and 4. But that's the way that CUDA will list your answers. Number 2, find the value of two numbers if their sum is 9 and their difference is 1. So this one's written the same way. Well, it's the same problem written a little bit different way. Their sum is 9, so x plus y is 9, and their difference is 1, so x minus y is 1. Again, I think it would be easiest to just add them together, so I'm going to have 2x is 10, so x is 5. I go back and I plug in, I'll plug into the top one. I'm going to have x plus y, not x, I need to plug in 5 there. 5 plus y is 9, so y is 4. So my answer is 4 and 5. All right, there's number 2. All right, number 3, traveling downstream, a certain boat went 15 miles per hour. Traveling upstream, it only went 1 mile per hour. Find the speed of the boat in still water and the speed of the current. So for starters, we need our variables. We'll have the speed of the boat. We'll have that equal x, and the river, we'll call that y. Is it a river or is it just a current? It's a stream. We'll call it a river. So this 15 miles an hour, that's whenever the boat is going with the current. So x plus y, right? You have the boat's speed and then the current's speed, and them added together gives you 15. Now this 1 mile per hour is the boat x minus the stream, right? Because it's working against it. Here's our linear equation, or our system of equations, and we're able to solve. We add these up again, and I get, well, 16 is 2x and 0y. So x is 8. I take this, I'm going to plug into the top one. It's 15 plus 8, not 15 plus, 15 equals 8 plus y, and y is going to be 7. So we said that x is the boat, so the boat is traveling at 8 miles per hour, and the stream is 7 miles per hour. There we are. So really it's kind of like one of the numbers 1 and 2, kind of just in disguise. All right, number 4. Ted and Carlos are selling flower bulbs for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy bags of wind flower bulbs and packages of the other kind of bulbs. Ted sold 5 bags of windflower bulbs and 4 packages of sea bulbs for a total of $85. So the way that we set this up is you need to first assign a variable to each kind. So we'll have W for the windflower and C for whatever that means. So Ted sold 5W and he sold how many? 4C, right? I said 5W, 4C for a total of $85. Carlos sold 7 bags of windflower bulbs, so we're going to have 7 windflower plus 4 sea bulbs, so 4 sea bulbs for a total of $103. What is the cost of each of 1 bag of the windflower bulbs and 1 package of the crocus bulbs? So here we have our equation. We can see here that this 5W means that they bought 5 of the W's, and W is going to be the cost of each one. So we need to solve these. I think the easiest way to do this would be to use elimination. I'm going to multiply the bottom one by -1. So the top stays the same. 5W plus 4C is 85. The bottom one turns into -7W minus 4C is -103. So now I can add them up, and I'm going to have -2W equals, what is 85? 85 minus 103 is -18. I divide by -2, and W equals 9. So what is that, windflower costs $9. All right. To find the other one, I'm going to plug back in. I'll plug into this top equation there. So I'm going to say, well, 5 times 9 plus 4C is 85. This is 45 plus 4C is 85. I'll subtract 45 from both sides, and I'll have, well, 85 minus 45, 85 minus 45 is 40. So C is going to be 10. So that tells me that the crocus costs $10. All right, there we are. Moving on, number 5. Ted and Stefan, whatever it is, each improved their yards by planting grass, sod, and ivy. They bought their supplies from the same store. Ted spent $60 on 2 feet squared of grass sod and 6 pots of ivy. Stefan spent $67 on 2 feet squared of grass sod and 7 pots of ivy. Find the cost of 1 foot squared of grass sod and 1 pot of ivy. So we're going to say our variables are G and I. I think those would be good variables. I normally like to make my variables kind of relate to the problem. It helps me to understand or to remember what I'm doing. So going back here, Ted spent $60 on 2 grass and 6 ivy. Stefan spent $67 on 2 grass and 7 ivy. Really quickly, if you look at these, you can probably see, well, an ivy is probably $7. Let's go ahead and do the problem just in case we can't see that on another problem. I'm going to multiply through this top one by -1, and then I'm going to eliminate. So if I multiply through -1, I get -60 equals -2G minus 6I. The bottom one is going to be 67 equals 2G plus 7I, right? Nothing changed on the bottom one. I add them up and I get, well, 7 equals 0G and 1I. So 7 equals I. So the IV costs $7. To get the other one, let's take one of the equations. Let's take the bottom equation. We'll plug it in. So we've got 67 equals 2g plus 7 times 7, right? Because I used that. So now I've got, well, 67 is 2g plus 49. I'm going to subtract 67 minus 49. So I have 18 is 2g, and then g is 9. So I'll just say grass costs $9. All right, there we are. Number 6. The school that Jack goes to is selling tickets to the annual talent show. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 4 adult, we'll say 4A, and 3 student tickets for $64. The school took in $112 on the second day by selling 8 adult tickets and 2 student tickets. Find the price of an adult ticket and the price of a student ticket. So the first day, was this, and the second day was this. So we'll say 4A plus 3S equals 64. And for the second one, we'll say 8A plus 2S is 112. All right, now here we have our equation. This bottom one, that looks like it would be really easy to solve for S. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solve for S. If I subtract 8A from to the other side, I'm going to have 2S equals 112 minus 8A. Now if I divide by 2, I'll have S equals, what's that going to be? 56 minus 4A. I'm going to take this and plug it into the top equation and use substitution. So that will give me 4A plus 3, and then I need to open my parentheses, 56 minus 4A equals 64. And I'm sorry, I switched to a lowercase a there. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm just going to leave them all as lowercase a's from now on. Now I've got 4A plus 3 times 56 is 168, and then 3 times 4 is 12, so negative 12A equals 64. If I combine my a's together, I'm going to have negative 8A plus 168 equals 64. If I subtract 168 to the other side, I'll have negative 8A equals 64 minus 168 is negative 104. Now if I divide by negative 8, A is 13. So an adult ticket costs $13. I'm going to use this top equation here. I'm going to bring it all the way over here. I'm going to plug in that 13. Let me zoom out so that I can read the whole thing. So I've got 4 adult tickets, so 4 times 13 plus 3 student tickets is 64. All right, now 4 times 13 is going to be 52 plus 3 students is 64. If I subtract 64 minus 52, I get 3S equals 12 and S equals 4. So I can say, well, the adult is $13, the student is $4. All right, there we are. Number 6. The state fair is a popular field trip destination. This year, the senior class at high school A and the senior class at high school B both planned trips there. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 6 vans and 7 buses with 336 students. High school B rented and filled 2 vans and 11 buses with 476 students. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students. Find the total number of students in each van and in each bus. So for starters, we have high school A with 6 vans and 7 buses. High school B, 2 vans and 11 buses. So writing my equations, I'll say, well, 6V for vans plus 7B for buses is 336. The second one is going to be 2V for vans plus 11 buses is equal to 476. All right, now we get to decide how we want to graph this, or how we want to not graph but solve. I'm thinking that the easiest way to do this will be to solve for the bottom. Well, no, we'll use elimination here. Let's multiply the bottom by -3. Right, because if we multiply by -3 there, we'll have a -6v. So let's do that. The top will stay the same. It will be 6v plus 7b equals 336. The bottom one will be -6v minus 33b equals 3 times 476, -1428. Now we can add these together. Whenever I add them up, my v's will cancel, and then I'm going to have 7 minus 33. That will give me -26b. Then I'm going to have 336 minus 1,428 for -1092. To end it all, I'll divide by -26, and I have b equals 42. So that told me that each bus carries 42 students. All right, let's continue this guy and plug them in to see how many rides in a van. So I'm going to have 6 vans plus 7 buses, and a bus is 42 people, equals 336. So 6 vans plus, well, 7 times 42 is 294, is 336. I'll take 336 minus 294, and I get, well, 6v is 42. I'll divide by 6, and I get v equals 7. So 7 people ride in a van, and 42 people ride in a bus. So to write that in more words, I'll say 42 students per bus and 7 students per van. All right, there we are. All right, number 8. How many more left? Okay, 3 more left. The senior class at high school A and high school B planned separate trips to the indoor climbing gym. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 6 vans and 8 buses with 524 students. So this is going to be a similar problem. I'll go ahead and start it off. 6v plus 8b is 524. High school B rented and filled 12 vans, so 12 vans and 7 buses with 580 students. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students. Find the number of students in each van and each bus. So here we are. How should we best start this one? Well, I think elimination might be the way to go here too. If we multiply the top one by -2, then we'd have a -12 and a +12 to cancel each other out. So let's go ahead and do that. The top will turn into a -12v minus 16b equals negative, what is that, 524 times negative 2 is going to be negative 1048. The bottom one stays the same, 12v plus 7b is 580. Now I can add these up. My negative 12 and my positive 12 cancel out. And then I'm going to have negative 16 plus 7 gives me negative 9b. And then I'm going to have negative 1048 plus 580. And that gives me negative 468. I'll divide both sides by negative 9, and b equals 52. So in this problem, we have bigger buses than the last problem. We'll take those buses and we'll plug that into, we'll use the bottom, which one do we want to use? The bottom one looks like it might be a little bit easier. So I'll say, well, 12v plus 7 buses, and we have 52 people to a bus, is 580. So this is 12v plus 52 times 7 gives me 364 equals 580. I'll take 580 minus 364. 12v equals 216. And I divide by 12, v equals 18. So a bus has 52, and a van has 18. All right. Number 9. Another field trip. So high school A and high school B planned separate trips to the county fair. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 8 vans and 1 bus with 127 students. High school B rented and filled 10 vans and 5 buses with 305 students. All right, and the rest of it is the same as the last problem. So to me, whenever I look at this, I see this 1b, and to me that's getting it set up for substitution. So I'm going to change this top thing. I'm going to subtract 8v to the other side and say, well, 1b equals 127 minus 8v. Now I'm going to take this and plug in right there. That'll give me 10v plus 5 times 127 minus 8v equals 305. This is 10v plus 5 times 127, 635 minus 40v is 305. I can combine like terms, and I'll say, well, 635 minus, well, 10v and negative 40 gives me negative 30v is 305. I'll pull this up here, and I'm just going to copy it down again so I have more room. 635 minus 30v, 305. I'm going to subtract 635 to the other side, so I'm going to type in my calculator, 305 minus 635. So I have negative 30v is negative 330. To finish up, I'll divide by negative 30, and v is 11. So 11 people to a van. Now I'm going to take that statement, the highlighted one, and I'm going to plug in 11 people per van. So I'm going to say, well, one bus has 127 people minus 8 times 11. So one bus is 127 minus 88. So one bus is 127 minus 88. That's 39 people. So a van has 11 and a bus has 39. All right, and there's number 9. Last one, number 10. The school that Jacob goes to is selling tickets for a fall musical. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 adult tickets and 8 student tickets for a total of 133. So I have 3 adults, I'm going to use a little a, and 8 student tickets for $133. The school took in 157 on the second day by selling 9 adult and 2 student tickets. What is the price of 1 adult and 1 student ticket? So, how do we want to go about this one? There's 2 ways that I'm seeing. We could multiply the top one by -3, or we could multiply the bottom one by -4. I'm not seeing that one of them is better than the other, but I'm going to use -3 because it's just a smaller number. So that's what I'll do. So I'm going to multiply this guy here by -3. I'll take it over. I'll say, well, this is going to be -9a plus 8 times 3 is 24. I guess it'll be a minus 24 equals 133 times -3 is -399. The bottom one will stay the same. Oop, I forgot my s next to the 24. All right, now that we've got that, we can add them up. So it's going to be 0a, -22s, and then -399 plus 157 gives me -242. I'll divide both sides by 22, or by -22, excuse me, and s is going to be positive 11. So that tells me that a student ticket costs $11. Since my paper is easy to use, I'm just going to take this guy straight down. I'm going to use that one. So 9 adult tickets plus 2 student tickets at $11 a piece is 157. So 9 adult plus 22 is 157. So I'll subtract my 22. And I'm going to say, well, 9 adult is 157 minus 22, 135. And to finish up, I'll divide by 9. And an adult ticket is $15. So to write that in words, I'd say, well, an adult, $15, student, $11. All right, there we are.